Good evening and welcome to the April 8th business meeting. I need to get that straight because we usually have a work session on the first of the month, but we switched it to a business meeting. So welcome to the business meeting of Richmond Community Schools Board of School Trustees. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And we will begin with the reading of our mission statement, please.
Richmond Community Schools guide students on pathways of learning to a future of limitless possibilities.
And if you would just continue with our vision.
Our vision statement reads, Richmond Community Schools, a community nurturing mind, body, and spirit to prepare students for lives of choice, purpose, and service.
Thank you very much, Kelly. And now we are ready for our showcase video.
Well, tonight we have actually the REA Teacher of the Month. That's, is Kelly here?
She is. She's hiding back there.
Okay.
Yeah, she is.
Go ahead.
It gives me great pleasure as president of the Richmond Education Association to nominate Rachel Phillips for the Teacher of the Month for April. Rachel is a first grade teacher at Fairview Elementary School and has always wanted to be a teacher.
We start this
and
over?
It shows in her classroom.
There we go. It's better already. Thank you, Rob.
Yes.
Make it stop.
Cute up too. Looks like the ice did test.
We're having problems with the previous test.
Yeah. For this day.
But you're getting there.
Perfect.
It gives me great pleasure as president of the Richmond Education Association to nominate Rachel Phillips for the Teacher of the Month for April. Rachel is a first grade teacher at Fairview Elementary School and has always wanted to be a teacher, and it shows in her classroom.
Mrs. Phillips has a positive influence on students. She encourages struggling students and shows them that they can in fact achieve more than they think. She changes a student's career from one of failure to success. This resonates with students even in first grade. She receives many letters and visits from former students showing their appreciation for the difference that she's made in their lives.
I have always been someone who loved learning. I was a person who read a lot. I enjoyed books. I enjoyed learning new things, and so I wanted to be someone who could help pass that along to other people, and working with kids just was the natural progression for me. I always knew I was going to be a teacher, so I started early thinking of what could I do, what would I get. Books for my classroom. I would ask for books for my classroom for like Christmas presents from my parents when I was in high school. I just knew that's what I was going to do. It was a calling for me to be a teacher. We come in and we start our day with some morning work, and then we always sing a song in our room, the Rise and Shine and Welcome to School Today, and we always say it's a new day at Fairview, another chance to be the best learner you can be. To do that, we're going to follow our college expectations, and the kids chant with me. P, practice respect. A, accept responsibility. W, work together. S, self-control. And we know that we're Fairview Lions and we're going to have a great day. This is where you really see it all come together. It clicks for kids. They have become readers. They've become mathematicians, and they're proud of themselves and they know that they're doing it. And so this like home stretch is where you really see it, just the puzzle pieces come together, and they are readers and they just are so excited about it. And I am too. I love that. You see so much growth in first grade.
She shows high expectations with her, has high expectations with her students, but shows great love toward them. And the joy of learning is apparent in both her students and in Rachel, as they both continuously strive for greater learning, greater knowledge, and understanding. So I'm very honored to nominate Rachel Phillips as REA Teacher of the Month.
There's always that. Doing the best I can. Doing the best I can. She's here.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's my pleasure to introduce to the board Rachel Phillips, who I think as you watch the video, you could see the excitement, in just her talking about her classroom and her desire to teach. And as I shared on there, one of the things that I have heard the most about Rachel, being an intermediate school teacher, I don't really get into the elementary classrooms as much as, well, now I'm getting to, but I didn't as much as I would like to. But for years, I've heard about how Mrs. Phillips loves her students and they love her in return. And when you couple that with that joy of learning that is contagious for her students, I think that you were an easy choice as
Thank you.
Teacher of the Month.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You may have some questions.
Do you have any questions?
There's always that.
I just
always
have a
that.
statement or a comment. And
Aaron.
Watching your video, and I'm the touchy-feely person on the board. Yes. Thank you, Misty. I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. And that speaks volumes. I've been in my profession for 29 years, but it's not something I grew up wanting, thinking that I was going to be. But you reflect just everything that we want our teachers to be. Not a job, but those who believe it is their avocation, their calling, their profession. If you knew that you always wanted to be a teacher, you knew at an early age that you were going to make a positive difference in someone's life. Just this honoring as Teacher of the Month, that's one thing. But you and your colleagues and everyone else who teaches, because it is your calling every day, we can't say thank you enough. And I know that this board really appreciates that.
It definitely has to be something you have your heart into. They become your family. They're my kids for a year. I'm sharing them, and they're my kids when I see them in high school, and I'm like, oh my goodness, when is this happening? How'd this happen? But they come to me, and I'm their person that they can depend on in the classroom. I'm there for them when they're in my classroom, when they're out of my classroom. And, you spend as much time with them, if not more, than your own family sometimes. So you become this community that you need to have, and the support you have from parents and your colleagues and everyone that works with the kids each day. You just have to work together and make it a place that they want to be, that you want to be, because it's a lot of our time that we spend with each other. And so we want to make it a great place to be.
Rachel, thank you so much for all, I know, hours and hours and hours that you spend at school or somewhere working on school stuff on behalf of the children at Fairview. And we just appreciate you so much.
Thank you very much.
And I would just add, and I know Rachel would echo this, that it helps to know you have a terrific supportive administrator, and I know Jen O'Brien is here, so I lost her, there she is. So I think that's a big part of Fairview's success, is they work so well together in that building. So a lot of great teachers in that building.
Thank you.
Kelly.
And Mom, proud Mom is here.
Yeah, I had a great example of a teacher, my mom's teacher, and, I just knew that that was something I wanted to do. Like I said, I loved reading. I always loved anything I could. I still want to learn more. I love learning new things and trying new things. You learn from your failures, so when you try something new and it doesn't work out, you try something again. But I've always been that person that I'll still go to like a college campus bookstore and see what are they using in their reading methods courses right now? Is there anything I need to know? I am that person that will buy the textbook for fun to try to learn something new. I'm researching all the time.
Sorry, Ben.
Yeah. My husband might say a little too much sometimes because I just really want to be in the know and I want to try new things. And, I host IUE students in my room, and I love helping them, but they also help me. I learn new things, or working as a mentor teacher for a new teacher in RCS this year, and I'm learning just as much from her as I hope she's learning from me. So I just want to be that person that's always looking for learning, always looking for new ways to improve, because I'm a lifelong learner, and that's what I want my kids to be. You know, if you can enjoy learning, you're going to keep doing it. So,
And you made
We work on
Christmas
that.
shopping pretty easy.
yeah, get those Eric Carle
If we
books.
could just figure out how to bundle up your energy,
Yeah.
enthusiasm, and passion, we could dole it out to all of our new teachers, we would be awesome.
Yeah, I think that all the new teachers I've worked with have been great, so we're doing something right, that we're getting all these great people coming to RCS, so,
Good news.
It's good to hear. Good to hear you say that.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
thank you.
And now we're ready for our first session of public commentary. We ask that you keep your comments, please, to 5 minutes or under, and that you handle yourself respectfully with personal decorum. And would you please share the first speaker?
First, we have students for Platinum Prom.
Come forth.
Or just one student.
The rest are at a drum line.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's great.
Hello,
Welcome.
everyone. Yeah, nice to see you guys again. I'm Madeline Kenyon, the student body president at Richmond High School. And the Richmond High School Alumni Association and the school would like to invite all of you to Platinum Prom. It's something that we have every year. It's for the elderly of Richmond and even people younger than that. It's called Platinum Prom, you know, not necessarily a whole bunch of teenagers.
You're looking at all of us when you say elderly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, but the theme this year is Hooray for Hollywood, which is a really big thing right now with The Great Gatsby and the whole 20s red carpet theme that's going on for the high school prom. And that will be held on Saturday, April 18th, 2015. You are all invited. The doors will open at 6, and it is from 6:30 to 9. It's really a lot of fun. We have the students from Student Council, and we are there volunteering, helping to pass out drinks and do bingo games. And there are lots of finger foods and coffee and punch and just dancing. It's just a great night. What is it?
Rush County Big Band.
The Rush County Big Band will be there, and there will be a singer this year, which makes that even better. The music is always wonderful. It's music from the 30s, 40s, 50s. It's, you know, a lot of swing music, and it's so awesome to see the couples just having a great time like they did back when they were in high school, and how we do it as well. The Queen and King will be crowned, which is also really fun to see. On the flyer here, there's a picture of them, and that's always really nice. So it's they walk around with their crown on the whole night, so they're really proud of it. And free photos and free admission for people 60 and over. So that's really nice. And even if you aren't over 60, we won't turn anybody away. So for more information, just in case you need this, I just copied down the number 973-3338. That's the RHS Alumni Office. So yeah, we'd love to see all of you there. The theme is Hooray for Hollywood. It's going to be an awesome night, as always. The dress is Sunday best. Some people even go all out. They get like a prom dress, and there's always like a couple in like a tuxedo, and this really beautiful dress. But yeah, Sunday best is fine. So we hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we have one member here sitting at the board that just qualified for that free 60. I won't mention any names.
No, there are other elderly people.
Qualified a long time ago.
Ooh. Okay, we'll move right on.
Wow.
Next, we have Kay Lynn.
Really, I signed in under the wrong thing. It's my daughter Sabrina is the next one.
Okay, Sabrina.
Hi.
Hi. Will you state your name, please?
My name is Sabrina Stewart. I'm very nervous about all this, so if I kind of made something here to help me follow. I read about this meeting in the paper and about something that concerned me very, very deeply. I mean, at least when it comes to my children. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to kind of read.
It's okay.
Hello. Thank you for allowing me this time to air my strong concerns. My name is Sabrina Stewart. My husband is James B. Stewart. We have 3 children. Brenda, who is 9, James E., who is 7, and Christopher, who is 6. My mother, Kaylin, lives with us and assists with childcare. She transports our kids daily to and from school and deals with the school on a daily basis. I have heard rumor and saw it in the newspaper that you are no longer going to have an open enrollment at ESA. Also, that the boundary lines have been redefined. My husband and I in our home, and we are financially unstable to up and move to be in the Star District. We just outside of their border. The school that will be required to attend would be Crestdale. My children attended there last year, and it was an extremely unacceptable experience. Both Nicole Bowman at Children's Protective Services and the counselor at JC's house, whom Nicole took me to for evaluation, advised us to get our kids out of Crestdale. The school would never leave us alone with the false accusations that were being made. They advised us to get our kids enrolled in Elizabeth Star Academy. We have had an excellent year at Star. My children are thriving. It would be traumatizing for my children to return to Crestdale. As a concerned parent, I refuse to subject my children to face this again. If you force us to leave Star, I'll be forced to pull my children from the Richmond Community Schools totally. And homeschool them. I beg you to allow us to remain at Star. I'm not only asking for my children, but for the other displaced children and their parents. Your issue with closing the borders is transportation. I transport my own children and have witnessed multiple other parents who have also transport their children. My question is, why not advise those outside the boundary lines families that they would be required to transport their own kids or return to their home school? Therefore, allowing the concerned families to remain at Star as a choice school. I have tried other Richmond elementary schools and have had negative experiences. Because of these experiences, my children are afraid to leave Star. This has been witnessed by my mother, myself, and my husband. Thank you again for allowing me to speak. But your final decision at this meeting will directly affect what my family will do next.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We are ready to move on then to consent items.
Okay. Motion?
And those are approval of the minutes and human resources. I need a
With an
motion.
addendum.
With an addendum. Thank you.
At your table.
Kelly?
I'll make the motion to accept the consent items as presented.
Okay, motion made by Kelly Baumgartner, seconded by Susie Hively. Comments or questions? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We are now ready for action items.
Okay, first we have the policies, section 700s, and only back for reading and adoption are those where we had typos that were found by one of our great proofreaders
Okay.
prior to the last meeting.
Okay.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Jeff Slifer, seconded by Dixie Robinson. Comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Now, transportation.
Transportation. Okay, we have, again, transportation concerns and issues that we've dealt with for some time that immediately surfaced, of course, as we tried to look at the cost of transporting students as we had in prior times and the dollars that we had available to do so. So the recommendation that I'm making to you this evening is that we adjust the elementary school boundary lines to maximize neighborhood schools and minimize the cross-town busing. Kind of the second part of that is changing the Elizabeth Starr Academy from a magnet schools to a neighborhood school, as we've talked in the past, and then return transfer students to the home schools to minimize, again, the cross-town busing. So in summary, my recommendation is to return all students to neighborhood schools as defined by the boundary lines presented at the board meeting on March the 25th, 2015, with one exception. That one exception would be the third grade students at Hibbard for the 2014-2015 school year will be permitted to continue at Hibbard for fourth grade for the 2015-2016 school year.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Jeff Slifer,
Second.
seconded by Aaron Stevens. Comments or questions?
As a point of clarification, isn't there within our policy a little bit of flexibility so that a principal can make a request to keep a family that's been in the school for a while? I believe that flexibility does exist if a principal were going to work with a family and wanting to keep them at the building.
We have not written any particular provision in this. What I would say is that one of the things we'll always have to look at, given the neighborhood schools, is that we have students that are guaranteed that live in that neighborhood to be able to go to that school. So we'd always have to be concerned about whether we had space, whether we were moving students from a neighborhood school to allow others, and that would be difficult. So I think we would always have to consider the space concerns.
I would also think that we'd have to bring that policy back for discussion because there are going to be qualifying events that may be, that we may have, something may happen where a child has to go live with their grandmother and it's in a different district. So I think we'll have to have some discussion on what those qualifying events are. I think that policy discussion will be forthcoming.
That's what I was going to say. Aren't we going to be reviewing those policies?
We have to look at all of the policies in relationship to the action that we're taking at the time. And we did not revise them because we wanted to know whether or not this would in fact become the decision that the board would make tonight.
So in other words, this isn't the last activity. We will have to have discussion about the policies surrounding transportation as this affects
And
this
all
change.
of the issues around transportation, not just as affected by the boundary lines.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
I have just a few more comments, if you would bear with me, that I'd like to make regarding the transportation. During our public meetings, we've certainly had discussion about meeting the needs of our academically talented, and we've always, of course, been concerned about meeting the needs of all of our students. And one of the things that I really want to say publicly is that in our schools in Richmond, we have teachers that are really highly qualified to deal with students at different levels, different abilities, at different emotional states, just high-performance teachers. And our teachers are always doing flexible grouping. They're always doing differentiation. That's just an expectation. It's a common practice with our teachers. They're always using a variety of materials. And I don't think that I know of a district anywhere around that has more support materials in the classroom than Richmond. It's been a big push here in the Richmond district to be sure that our teachers had materials in hand. Not to mention the technology that we're now providing again, which allows for additional opportunities to learn. So I think we have teachers at all of our buildings that are prepared and can design work that can either remediate or accelerate students. And I just feel compelled to make that statement. We will have an evaluation, or in the process of an evaluation of our academically talented program. We expect the results to arrive in May of this year. We have just recently, this week again, met with the Ball State evaluators in that they plan to be on time with their evaluation. And I think that's going to assist us tremendously as we look at the academically talented program in the future and make decisions as to how we can best accommodate.
Thank you. And now, we are ready for reports, discussion topics, and the superintendent search update. I am pleased to report that we are in the process of finishing second interviews. According to our timeline, we were to have those completed by the end of March. We didn't quite think about the different spring breaks that were taking place, so it's taken us a little bit into April, but we are completing those second interviews. And this is kind of a real awkward, kind of a trying time in this whole process, because at the beginning of the process, we were so active in seeking input and talking about, talking to our community and our staff and our students, and having conversation about what we wanted in our next superintendent. And during this interview process, those conversations have obviously stopped. But I will say that those conversations have guided us every step of the way. And we are so thankful that for the input and the conversations that we have had to guide us through this process. And so I also want to commend our media, our teachers and staff, our community, for allowing us to lead this process in the most confidential way that we possibly could and can, and for the integrity that has allowed us to move forward with the process. So that has been something that all of us on the board are so pleased with. And so I did want to make that note this evening. And we are going to complete this process with that same confidentiality and that same integrity. And hopefully, we will be able to stick to our timeline of May having an announcement. And so that is the update that I have this evening. And if any board members would like to comment more on what I've said, please feel free to.
I think you've done a fine job.
Well, can we just say that it's been a very positive process, and it's continuing to be a positive process.
Exactly. Okay, thank you. We are ready for our second public commentary. Do we have anyone signed up? Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak, even though you did not sign up?
I would like to take just a minute of your time.
Please come forward and state your name.
My name is Tina Carrico, and the one point that I would like to make is my daughter goes to Elizabeth Starr Academy. I take her every day faithfully. I pick her up every day faithfully. She has had the most wonderful experience there. She had Miss Marilyn for preschool, Miss Krell for kindergarten, which is one of the best teachers that RCS has, in my book. She is awesome. I've already put in a request for her teacher for next year, but if you guys move forward with this and force her to go to Charles, then I don't know what that's going to cause for her. She's thriving where she's at. It may be different at Charles. Each school has the same curriculum, but each school is different, and you can tell by the gradings that they get each time they're graded. So that's my fear. I should be able to have the choice, if I transfer her myself, where she goes and where she doesn't, as long as I'm transporting her.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else wishing to speak, please come forward. Yes.
No one else is popping up. I didn't really prepare a statement. I've been out of town.
That's fine. Please state your name.
My name is Julia Jensen, and I would like to also address the transportation issue. My daughter attends Hibbard, and she has Ms. Wise, who's here tonight, who is wonderful. You know, that there are a lot of great things at RCS. I've been, on the whole, really pleased with what my child has gotten from you. However, there's been so much transition. I started my daughter at Garrison. When she was in pre-K, I shopped around, looked at different schools. Garrison was where I went. And when I visited there, it was wonderful and warm. Kelly Andrews, who was wonderful, popped out of the office to show me around. And she had Kendra Beisner for 2 years. We had a bonus year of kindergarten, which was the best thing for my child. And it was great. And then, all of a sudden, the rug was pulled out from under her. And we went to Charles, which was okay. There, you know, all the Garrison people moved to Charles. At least the people I had the most contact with were familiar faces. But again, that was a transition. And fortunately, my child was able to have the same teacher for 2 years in a row, Diane Weatherly, who is, as you know, also wonderful. My child is very sensitive. My child is highly intelligent. My child is also severely ADHD. She received special education at Charles, which was also great. But they felt that she needed to be tested because they felt she was a high ability student. And lo and behold, no surprise to us, she tested into the high ability program at Hibbard. And she went there this year, and it's been just wonderful for her. There's a flexibility there. There's, you know, an agility within the curriculum that a school like Charles was not able to provide just because of the enormous cross-section of students in the classroom. It would be a shame for students to not have that opportunity to remain in a building with so many students like them, with teachers who really understand, with other faculty and staff who really understand the needs of these children. Long ago, I used to babysit for the children of Karen Kimball, who started the Logos program. And she once told me, you know, when I introduced my own daughter to her and she recognized something about her, she said, you know, smart kids are kind of wired differently, I think. And I've found that to be true. I'm probably coming to the end of my time, I'm rambling. But anyway, I drop my child off every morning. Hi, Mrs. Stewart. And many afternoons, you know, we can arrange transportation ourselves. I did that when she went to Garrison. It was a 12-mile commute. I was fine with that. You know, other parents might not be so fortunate to have a car or what other transportation, but you know, whatever alternatives, whatever creative things we can come up with, transportation just seems like such a lame way of making a program like this diminish with a whimper. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Ding.
Anyone else wishing to speak, please come forward.
My name's Kenneth Frederick. My son's in third grade at Hibbert, so he'll move on with what you said in fourth grade. I guess my question, I got children ranged all the way from 30 down to 8, so I guess my question is, you said there's a continued stay. I'm just looking for some clarification. there's continued study going to come out in May, maybe, that, or so you saying there's a possibility to continue on? Because I talk to kids all the time that, I got a grandson I'm in the process of adopting. Okay, he's in preschool at Crestdale, so I talk to kids all through Crestdale, and there's kids that are in the Logos program. They're excited, or were. They thought they'd be going to a third grade at Hibbert possibility. So, and my concern too is what happens to those teachers, you know, if the third grade dissolves. So I guess I'm just looking for clarification of.
Well, at this time, we haven't made any determination about the high ability program. We're waiting as far as what needs to happen there and ways that we may strengthen it. When the report comes back, we'll have that discussion. We have not entered into any discussion about that.
Okay, thank you.
This time.
Thank you. Anyone else? Please come forward.
Hello again.
Good evening.
My name is Jeff Nicholson. And the only comment I have is about saying about leaving it up to the principals of the school to decide if a student moves outside the district. I believe that's why we're in some of the mess we're in right now. Because the principals at the schools were making the decision. And then, so then all of a sudden, now we got a bus stop in a district outside of the school. And we're sending the bus. Well, we do it for that one, then all of a sudden, we got another one, because there's a bus stop there now in a test district that's going to dentist. And that's what we're doing now. Or they're just going to walk out of the test district to the dentist district to get on a bus to go to. So my would be you have one overseer of this, that when somebody moves outside the district, that has to go to this overseer to see why the reason is and if this, but the transportation would have to be up to the parent. Because if you make a bus stop and outside the district, you're going to have more kids coming to that, just like what we're doing right now.
At this time, our intention is to pick up students at their home address based on, and transport them to the school
Right.
that they're assigned to based on that home address. That's our plan right now.
Okay.
And it does require monitoring, you're right.
Yeah.
It does.
Because like I said, because that's what it was before, leaving it up to the principals to decide. And then now we got bus stops outside the district. Which I'm the one that had the one for dentists in the test district.
Right.
That there was 8 I was picking up, and now it's only 1. So I'm going outside the district just to get one child and take it all the way to dentist.
Right. Thank you. I
Okay.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak this evening? Okay, great.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Kay Lynn. Sabrina Stewart's my daughter. I have been living them for roughly a year. I see what my grandkids are going through. And I understand your issue of transportation, and I understand the comment about opening up new bus stops in somebody else's district. I understand all that. But if we're willing to transport our own kid, and they have room for him, I feel they need to stay where they're at, if we have that choice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Susan Hoffer, and I actually had a point that I wanted clarified as well. You just mentioned with the High Abilities Program at Logos that this decision has not been final as to whether third graders will come in next year. Is that correct?
We said that the third graders will be that are in Hibbert right now will go on to fourth grade. They will not be reset back to the neighborhood school.
Okay. But there's testing that we're waiting for to come back to see if the High Abilities Program will continue there at the third grade level?
No, there's not testing. We're waiting to just get the overall evaluation for the High Abilities Program and how it needs to be structured.
Okay, so there's a possibility then that third grade might still continue there?
At this point, I wouldn't conjecture at all.
Okay.
how it would be structured and
Will that
where.
be in follow-up at future meetings for
Well,
people to be able
it
to?
would be sometime after May because, and we'll have to have time to obviously digest the report and decide the direction, but we will not be getting the report until May.
Okay, so that would make it unlikely that there would be a third grade class there next year.
Well, we're intending for the third grade that's presently there
Right.
to move on to 4. We're
But the
not
second grade will not be
move in as third graders.
moving as third graders.
Okay, so then is the Logos program there for third to fourth grade ending with this class moving forward?
At this time, we cannot tell you that.
Okay.
We haven't even had discussion about it.
Okay, thank you.
Just to clarify again, if I could, the plan for this next school year at this point is for the current third graders that are at Hibbard, they will stay as fourth graders,
Yes.
okay? Okay, anyone else wishing to speak? Okay, thank you for all of your comments. And now we're ready for board reports, old business. Anything? Nope. Okay, reviewing the upcoming meeting.
Well, our next meeting will be a work session. As Ms. Morganson has said, we reversed our meetings this month, and we will be certainly bringing an important topic to us, and that's the technology. Actually, it's going to be not just technology, but our curricular needs and the kind of technology that we're going to need to support and how we may fund it. So that's going to be a big discussion for us, and we're excited about that.
Okay. And now we're ready for our press conference. Anyone from the press? Well, we are ready for our bell ringer, I guess.
Well, I had an exciting morning. There was a concert at the high school, and I had the opportunity to go over, not realizing that I might not make it this evening. And we had our elementary students there, and I was able to sit in a section with the students, and it was so exciting. They were into this concert. It was just absolutely amazing. I got into it too. I got in the groove. I noticed that the teachers weren't so excited as I was. They weren't in the groove, so to speak. But then I realized that they were concerned about the student behavior. I didn't have to worry about that. So it was a great time. And if you haven't gotten to the concert and you have time to go yet this evening, it'll be wonderful.